You're listening to Morning Edition here on WCBU. I'm Rich Drager. Caterpillar is taking out a $10 million workforce development pledge to boost manufacturing careers in Illinois. The investment is part of a larger 5-year, $100 million global commitment that the heavy equipment maker announced last year, called the Building the Future Workforce Initiative. Asha Varghese is Caterpillar's head of corporate social responsibility. She says the company's goal is to make careers in manufacturing more attractive and attainable.
We're really looking to help more people look at careers in manufacturing and skills trade. That's really looking at training, education, and new pathways through which we can connect more people and more students to good paying in demand jobs in manufacturing and industrial careers.
So how will all this funding be used? How does the program work?
There are 4 specific areas that we're looking at, and this is across multiple states, but I'll kind of focus specifically on the state of Illinois. One of them is really focused around strengthening manufacturing as a whole. And in order for us to be able to do that, we need to ensure that the industry and the local community have a strong linkage in place. So how are we ensuring that the skills that are needed from an industry level is being communicated to the local stakeholders? The second is, how do we make training more accessible for both working adults, but also helping more students and families see that there are opportunities in modern manufacturing careers? The third element is really looking at, there is a perception shift that's needed in the manufacturing space in order to get people to understand, what does modern manufacturing really look like? Last but not least, we want to make sure that this is not something that's just implemented within any one community or any one facility. So how do we scale this by sharing some of these best practices so other industry players and other stakeholders can take these solutions and implement it in some of their locations and communities?
What are the barriers to training and development for in-demand skills, and how will this address those barriers?
I think the perception is one key element of it, right? You don't see very many people. I mean, today we're seeing such a big gap in the manufacturing space. And I think it's only going to be exacerbated as you introduce more technology and the skill sets that's needed for it. So one of the barriers that we're seeing is that just people are not aware of it, whether it's families, counselors, just how technically innovative some of these jobs are. Second is, we want to be able to create pathways where students can understand, how do you really attain the skills to be able to get a job in manufacturing or industrial skills. And one of the ways in which we're looking at this ecosystem is really to say, how do we create those career pathways and career progressions so they can see a future in manufacturing? They can see a good paying, a good quality job in that particular space. Last element I'd say is, there is a disconnect that we're seeing where what the industry needs is perhaps what's not being taught at the academic level. So how do we create that linkage to make sure that there is that back and forth communication and feedback on what's needed, what jobs are available, to what's being taught, and how are we pushing that through the career pathways that we're looking to create in some of these communities.
You are listening to WCBU Reports. I'm Joe Deacon, talking to Asha Varghese, head of corporate social responsibility for Caterpillar. Asha, how would you characterize the current manufacturing workforce needs?
Well, that's a very broad question of how we characterize them. It very much depends. That goes back to the question of, what does an industry really need at their facilities as we're looking at modern manufacturing. And this isn't just about the skills gap of today. We're really looking at, what does that future look like when we do have technology and people coexisting in the manufacturing space or in the industrial skills space. So it very much depends on, what does the industry need as they're evolving from a technology standpoint. And we need to be able to build that consortium or that linkage to be able to identify, how are we creating training programs to be able to address the jobs that are available 3-5 years down the road, and not just for the people that are coming in, but for the folks that are also in the manufacturing space, so upskilling and reskilling them.
So why make this commitment, this $10 million investment in Illinois specifically at this time?
Yeah, Illinois has a strong manufacturing base, right? We have over 570,000 manufacturing jobs already in Illinois, a very talented workforce that's already available, and a network of great education and training organizations. So, from Caterpillar standpoint, it is also home to over 17,000 Caterpillar employees. So, it's really a natural place for us to invest and to make sure that we are being an active player in this space, and not just from an investment standpoint, but also as a manufacturer who has a significant presence in the state of Illinois, to be able to leverage the foundational ecosystem that's already available across the stakeholders to be able to build what the future manufacturing and industrial skills career really need.
With the ultimate goals of developing manufacturing skills and workforce training, how will you measure success?
One of the things we're really measuring is more people entering manufacturing careers, modern manufacturing careers. Are we able to achieve that as part of this investment? Are we able to see stronger pathways from education to employment? That starts all the way, perhaps in some cases in middle schools, to where we're creating career and technical pathways that are available, and hence that leads to more people getting jobs in the manufacturing space. So those are some of the outcomes that we will be truly measuring to say, 2, 3, 5 years down the road, have we shifted that needle in ability for people to be able to enter the manufacturing, but to also have thriving career in manufacturing and industrial skills.
Are there any other aspects of this initiative you'd care to mention?
The only thing I would add is it takes more than just any one company or organization to really make this successful. Hence, I want to emphasize the collaboration that we have at the local level with stakeholders, whether that's government, academic institutions, and local economic development organizations. It truly takes all of us coming together to be able to bring that to fruition and make it a reality.
That was Caterpillar Representative Asha Varghese speaking with Joe Deacon for WCBU Reports. This week, the company reported second quarter sales and revenues increased 24% to more than $20 billion. You're listening to Morning Edition here on WCBU, Peoria Public Radio, part of the NPR network.